Good morning, and thanks for joining us on the Tuesday edition of TVC Breakfast. I'm Veronica Dan Ikboy. I'm not here alone. I have Mike Okwache. Mike, it is the D-Day for the National Assembly. Assembly's inauguration later today, but that's not the focus now, but it's a good day.
It's a good day. Good morning.
Right. Anyway, yesterday, the president signed into law the bill for student loans, where students can access loans for their education. And it's a way of the government saying that you have no excuse now to say that you can't go to school if you want to go to the university, if you want to go for vocational studies, if you want to go to the polytechnic, you can access these loans. Yes, the government came with requirements and all of it for you to access the loans. And then if you default, there is also provisions for that. And then it is expected that after your NYSC, 2 years after your NYSC, if you have a job, you begin to pay 10% of your salary deducted by your employer. But if you are self-employed, 10% of your profits will be deducted right from source. But this has generated mixed reactions from Nigeria, typical of Nigerians, very expected. There are those who have lauded the government for this initiative, for this move, and there are those who are saying that we know how things are in Nigeria. The level of unemployment, the level of poverty, some people will not be able to meet the requirements put forward by the government, and that even the defaulters are saying that they will have to pay 500,000 naira fine or risk 2 years imprisonment is also an issue for Nigerians. But one would understand, no law is perfect.
No, the point there is Nigerians, it is very not, in fact, if Nigerians are not skeptical about this, then you'll be asking, why are you not skeptical about it?
Are we still in Nigeria?
Are we still in Nigeria? Because the point there is governments in the past have come up with all sorts of policies and schemes and so many of them. And then at the end of the day, they end up being either bungled, they end up being misappropriated, they end up being discontinued. So Nigerians are used to the fact that if it is government, let's wait until it comes, or whatever the thing is. However, this is one of the things that Bola Tinubu had campaigned with.
Yes.
He's someone who understands how these things work. Now, recall that when NYSC was even created in 1976 by, 75, I think 75, by former head of state Yakubu Gowon.
Yeah.
It was as much as that time things were still, there was some level of sanity within the system, but some people were still skeptical. How will Nigerians, young Nigerians who are graduates, be crisscrossing the country, serving the nation first for 1 year before? And those skepticism came up. When they introduced the CWES system, where the ITF, where people have to do IT from school, and these were also things Nigerians were skeptical about. But the point there is, even TET Fund, when TET Fund was created and instituted, a lot of persons were skeptical. Would it not be a source of corruption? Is that not another conduit? And so on. So it's normal. But the issue there is that these schemes have come to stay. We have seen how they've been running for the last, some have run for the last 40, 50 years, and so on. So, introducing this now, after looking at what Nigerian students or what Nigerian parents and Nigerians go through, I believe that it's a way of creating opportunity for Nigerians who originally are disadvantaged by one way or the other to have access to school and have access to education. So no one is going to say, well, my parents didn't have money to send me to school or sponsor me, so I will drop out of school. No, there's no excuse of that kind with this bill anymore. So I believe that Nigerians should go and read what the whole specification is about. Because we've been hearing comments of a lot of Nigerians saying, oh, how can you, comparing it to the past.
Where people benefited from free education
exactly, and so
all
on
of
so
that.
Forth.
That is what you should be putting forward.
But the point there is, this is a revamped scheme. This is not just one of those, because at least I've taken time to go through a lot of the part of the portion of the bill, and we all as Nigerians we owe it as a duty to study it so that when you're making a public statement around it, you will know where your concern is.
Yeah.
However, it doesn't mean that it is a perfect bill yet.
Absolutely.
Or perfect law yet.
Yeah.
It can be tweaked here and there. But the
yes.
point, these are things that exist in the United States. These are things that exist in the West. And we are very quick to make reference to, oh, go to America. Students are able to do this. Students are able to do that. Go to the UK and so on. Now, we are creating our own. And this could be a foundation to giving Nigeria that boost that we have always talked about in education. And this is just the beginning, because recall that in the president's acceptance speech on the day,
he had said that
talked about all of these things.
Ensuring that students go to school 4 years will be 4 years,
will be
and
4
all
years.
of it.
No more strikes and so on. So these are the things. Although ASU said they are still studying it and they will come up with their own.
Absolutely. We also hear that I think NLC also is also reacting with regards to this. We know that there's going to be divergent reactions, but then the government has kickstarted something, and Nigerians can contribute as much as they want to in the coming days.